Hi, Darren here from tradinghorses.com again. Okay, just follow up to the last video. We're going to start making them thick and fast now, just to sort of demonstrate some of the strategies that we're actually using. 9 minutes to the off here, this Group 2 race at York, and we had a signal from the software for Prince Gibraltar, which suggested that we should be looking to lay, which we have done. We've got a position open in the market here. We're just using very small £25 liability, so we've just laid it for, you can see there, £7.35. So we've currently got a £34 liability. So we've currently got position open here, and pretty much just what we were describing before. Now, at what point do we actually exit the trade? At the moment, the signal has disappeared from the actual software. We're obviously sat here, we center the ladders, and we can sort of see, if we use this as our line here, we can see that the favourite has moved it in slightly. We've got the, just trying to look at the prices here, the third favourite, which is just about to probably become the second favourite, is actually starting to come in. The other two are fairly sort of static. So we have got a movement. This one's obviously of interest because if money really starts to come for this, what will become the second favourite, then that is going to have an effect on our actual horse. But we can see really nothing's much happened. The keynote here is the fact we're sort of at the top of the range. The TTH software is still suggesting that the price is going to move out, although we have got some larger stakes or chunks of money coming in here, which may or may not be real. Although this is a sort of much higher quality race. We've already got over £400,000 match 7 minutes before the off, so we tend to think that a lot of this money is going to be a little bit more genuine here. Okay, so we're again just sort of keeping an eye, sort of seeing this as our centre line here, so not too much movement across the ones here, so we're quite sort of happy just to at the moment hold on to the position. Like I say, tracking the trading the horses software on the other screen, which I will for the next video actually bring into play as well, so we can see that as well. But again, like I say, we're looking at a movement on this third horse in the ladder there, which is obviously coming down, which is obviously helping sort of our position, so we're not unduly concerned. Again, a key factor here would be a couple of things really. One would be at the upper level, if we can break this level here on the favourite, and it's going to be trading higher than it ever has done, so that suggests that the move is going to continue to go on. However, our key indicator here is highlighted in the orange there, is 4, because that's sort of what we see as a crossover point. You can see there in the odds that we're going to move from 0.1 as a tick size to 0.05, so that's a significant movement there. If we drop below that, then pretty much going to be looking at the movement perhaps going the other way, and that might be an opportunity to jump on board the actual trade the other way. TTH is still suggesting that the price is going to move out. We can see here that, well, what was the second favourite is starting to drift, so that implies also that there's more weight on this third horse here, which certainly would have been a good one to trade. But you can see here our trade is sort of sitting fairly sort of comfortably at the moment, on the back of a lot of the interest now seems to be going on this third one here. So we can see our position at any time, obviously on the ladder there, so using very small stakes here, and our overall green figure there as well. So we're coming sort of into the nitty-gritty stage of it now, because we've got 5 minutes before we're off. So we can sort of look at this now, and again, TTH is still indicating a movement upwards. The average bookmaker price is going out as well. But we do have to also be conscious of other things that are going on in the market. We're looking at the prices there, but obviously the significant thing as far as the exchange is concerned is the fact that money is going to move the market as well. So money which is then starts to come in will actually move the odds around as prices actually get taken. So we can't just blindly necessarily follow the prices. We've got to be aware of the money that's actually entering the market, and if we start to see a bit of a change within the way these other runners actually operate, then that's sort of a signal to us. I mean, looking at this here, this one's doing very little in terms of where it was. The third horse now is starting to drift a bit, so we can see now that the movement is almost sort of turning back the other way on our particular runner, and in fact we've gone from being a price up at sort of 4.8 back down to 4.3. We can see we're now actually red on the overall trade as well. So this would suggest now that the tide has actually turned, and that would have been the point to actually get out. We can see here that it touched up at 4.9, so that was sort of the ceiling level as far as the actual price is concerned. So we're seeing a little bit of a rise. It's quite weak now. We've got a lot of money being stacked up on this side, which is pushing the price up. And we can see here again that the movement on the second horse now is starting to come. So again, that will add more sort of weight to the fact that as is going to move out. So again, we're not overly concerned at the moment with our position. These two still seem to be doing enough. If again we're looking at the center of the ladders, which is what we started with, to indicate that we don't have to do too much. TTH software is now starting to change around, so this is again an interesting point. If you're trading it, it's now indicating that the average bookmaker price has started to come in, and that our actual price round about here is sort of correct in terms of the actual price that we've actually got in the market itself. So that would have been the sort of time to get out. So again, you know, the thing here is not about using these videos to make money as such on these. These are more demonstrations of how the markets are actually moving, so that when you're presented with them, you've got an opportunity to actually move out. So we can see now, as I say, the market sort of seems to have turned, and it's turned again in line with the software, because we're seeing the downward pressure now on the actual price, and we've now moved sort of into a bigger loss sort of territory, if you like. Now I'm not sort of concerned with that as such. I'm more concerned in just seeing how the actual markets move against the actual software. But if we look at the TTH screen now, then we're pretty much in line where we are. So this is probably about as good, or if you like, as sort of as bad as it's going to get. But we've seen, again, from demonstration purposes, that we had a price which went all the way up to 4.9, has now come back, and it's broken that 4. So again, that would be a significant point as well in order for you to actually get out of the market itself. Again, like I say, we're using very small stakes, so it's not an issue for us in terms of trading here. But we can now see that we're getting a significant move on the favourite, which is now bringing the overall position down. And we've only got a minute to go before the off. We can see that this horse here, which did trade sort of down at this sort of level, has now come back up. The second favourite is sort of pretty much leveled off as to where it actually is. The four favourites sort of again been on the drift really from pretty much when we've started. So again, you can see there it's just an interesting exercise in actual watching the markets. We've only got 30 seconds now to come, and we're pretty much now in line with how the software would be. So we would look at this point to obviously exit the trade. We're going to get a little bit of movement here, which for our own point of view saves us a few pennies. We might actually get back to a fairly level sort of position, or we can certainly hedge out for just over £1 loss there. It's not really a issue as far as the overall video is concerned. But again, like I say, from the position here where we started, if we sort of take this as being our bench line, then this one's sort of gone down and come back up again. This one sort of hovered around and started to come in. So naturally, when we've got a movement happening on these two, then it's going to have an effect on the other two horses that are actually here. So we could have got a lay trade away on this fourth horse, and certainly when this one was trading down at the lower level, we could have got away on that one as well. So again, it's all interesting stuff, and it just adds more weight to what you've got to look at really when you're actually trading the markets. Like I say, if you're in a position here where we did nothing, we had the movement, it got to a certain point, we didn't close our trade out, and you can see it's now gone against us from a winning position down to an actual losing position. So the important thing is, it's about having this exit strategy. You've got to have an exit strategy. We had the perfect point to get in the market, we got in the market at the right time, but again, we didn't have the exit strategy, so we ended up losing money on this trade. So again, just think about that every single time that you're trading. Okay, speak to you again soon. Cheers.